Aliens is one of my favorite franchises of all time, and that's saying a lot considering I only enjoy the first two films. Despite only being fond of the first and second movies in the franchise, I'm very attached to the world and its concepts. The xenomorph is one of the most unsettling monsters ever created, and the retro tech aesthetic perpetuated throughout the Aliens property has always interested me. While Alien has lacked in movies, the property has tried to make up for in video games. While some of the games have been great, we've also had a few stinkers over the years. So needless to say, I was a bit skeptical about the newest Alien-themed game to come out. Aliens Fireteam Elite was released on August 24th, 2021 and was developed by Cold Iron Studios for the current and last generation consoles along with PC. Leading up to the game's release, I was interested in playing it, but unfortunately had to put it on the back burner until now. Nevertheless, I'm very excited to review this one, so let's get to it.
The Palace Station team developed weapons from Xenomorph XX-121. In particular, they explored the effects of a mutagenic agent. Xenomorphs and other test subjects were loosed by a containment breach. The majority of the staff perished.
Fireteam's story kicks off in deep space with players controlling a colonial marine aboard the USS Endeavour when the crew receives a distress signal from a refinery installation. This is notable because the refinery station referred to as Katanga was thought to be destroyed and abandoned. From there, players will be sent through an onslaught of alien hordes and synthetic soldiers while looking for answers. Aliens Fireteam Elite is the type of game where the narrative takes a backseat to the gameplay. If you plan on playing this game, I hope you're here for the bug hunt, because I would describe the story as serviceable at best. There are little to no cutscenes, and most of the narrative is given in between missions by one of the game's admittedly forgettable characters. I debated including a story section of the video because the narrative is so minimized in the grand scheme of things. What changed my mind was all the side lore that's given throughout this game. I learned so much about the alien universe through collecting intel and talking to these side characters that it eclipsed the core story being portrayed in the campaign. This is a bit of a negative considering I would have loved to have been more invested in the events unfolding before me. Still, I'm always happy to expand my alien universe knowledge when the opportunity presents itself. Plus, I'm here for the bug hunt, so how did that pan out?
Please access the primary power regulator. Activate all systems. Full draw.
I held off on picking up the game at release because I heard it was a bit buggy. I'm happy to say this is mostly fixed.
Mostly.
Players would report problems with character models seizing up, along with connection issues. But after a year of patches, I'd say we're at a sound stage in the game's life cycle, and Aliens Fireteam Elite is what it was supposed to be at launch. Again, for the most part. I encountered connection and animation issues as well, but they were rare. With that out of the way, what exactly is the gameplay in Fireteam? The game is a mission-based third-person shooter that lets you and two other friends play through some stylized areas and enemies in the alien universe. There are 5 difficulties to choose from to customize your playthrough, from mind-numbingly easy to ball-crushingly difficult. The world is yours. If you do choose to play those higher difficulties, make sure you and everyone you're playing with is on point. It takes a lot of collaboration to beat a mission on Insane.
And blow into the hole gently. I'll do the fingering.
It's also possible to play with AI-controlled synth partners, but I wouldn't recommend this. The synths are brain dead, and there's an excellent matchmaking system in the game anyway. Pick a mission you're having trouble with, or just hit quick play to hop in. Plus there's crossplay, so there are tons of opportunities to have actual players on your missions instead of using AI. The shooting feels decent with the basic cover system, blind firing features, and rolling, but the real highlight is the class customization. 6 classes are available at the start, with the 7th unlocked after completing the game, and they all have different abilities and weapons to fit your playstyle. The variety would already be great with all the different weapons available to you, but the perks along with modifiers let you customize your class down to the letter. If that isn't enough, you can mix and match all the other classes' perks together to get your perfect character. Aim for a jack of all trades or hone a specific class's skill to make them the best they can be. All of this wouldn't mean much if the game couldn't keep the player coming back, but an excellent progression system with individual class and weapon ranks keeps one chasing their specific build. You'll need to fine-tune these aspects because the game boasts 4 campaigns, and they will get progressively more challenging as you go. Players can expect a decent range of enemies to challenge them as well. Besides basic Xenos, the game also has synths, acid spitters, heavy Xenos, and many more to offer some variety. Good thing there are consumables to help you with the more demanding sections. There is also earned in-game currency that allows you to buy different equipment through a shop to get gear faster. You might not need this though, because you could be lucky and find some fantastic equipment through a hidden cache during one of the campaign's missions. That being said, players might not need luck. Keep an eye on your daily challenges for extra cash and use your available challenge cards to fine-tune your experience with difficulty multipliers, credit bonuses, or buffs. And if that wasn't enough, keep track of all the carnage with a very fleshed out stat tracker. Are you still craving content? Good, there are also 3 other modes to keep you occupied. We have Horde mode, Point Defense, and Restock Turrets. All of them are endurance-based modes with a variety of objectives. Completing them also gets you rewards exclusive to these modes. God, there's a lot of content on offer here. How much was this game again? $30.
I made you some content.
Aliens Fireteam Elite has a lot to offer here for the price point, but are there any negatives with the gameplay besides some optimization issues? Of course there are some things to complain about. To start off with the nitpicky stuff, I wish the game was 4 players. 3 just seems odd, and I don't think it would have broken the balancing by adding a 4th. And like I mentioned earlier, I had occasional connection issues along with animation problems. Safe to say this is frustrating, but this was mild compared to my main complaint. I want to point out a critical issue with the gameplay loop. While Fireteam is fun to play, I must be clear on the campaign's gameplay. You will continuously run from holdout point to holdout point, setting up for the next wave of Xenos, and this is really the extent of what you do in Aliens Fireteam Elite. I wanted to mention this because it can get old after a while, especially if you're not playing with friends, and I'd hate not to get that across here. Despite this though, I did enjoy my time with the game, but that was for 2 reasons. One was because I was playing with friends, and the other was due to me nerding out on the presentation. At this point in the video, you've probably noticed how well the aesthetic of the Aliens series has been nailed here. Aliens Fireteam Elite feels like a love letter to the Aliens franchise as a whole, primarily the earlier films, but also the later ones as well. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Prometheus, I love seeing levels themed more to be like the recent films. It adds more variety than just using the second film as inspiration. The game was made using Unreal Engine 4, and you can definitely tell. Unreal has been the town bicycle for a while, and if it's not used super creatively, it comes off as generic looking in my opinion. It's a good thing the lighting and the aesthetic is executed masterfully. Otherwise, I don't know if I would have enjoyed my playthrough as much as I did.
I'm not mad at it.
When it comes to the level design, it is so authentic to the series that I had no problem throwing myself into the gameplay loop. Even the HUD feels like it was pulled straight from a Colonial Marine's helmet with the iconic motion scanner on the right-hand side of the screen, along with a big red X popping up on a Xeno you just smoked. These are all great things, but the presentation's sound design was the true highlight. Each sound effect feels like it was pulled straight from the movies, from the fire of a pulse rifle to the screech of a killed xenomorph. They even got the music to sound at home in the universe. When I first loaded up the game, I was impressed at how well the main menu's theme got me into an Aliens vibe. It's a shame this effort and passion didn't transfer to the dialogue. All the voice actors are doing their best, but it's hard for me to get engaged when I stare at a stagnant character model while voiceover is shoved in my face.
All requisitions come with free cornbread.
It's odd to see a lack of effort here because almost every other aspect of the game shows a lot of hard work. Players can see the best example of this with the cosmetic customization. All the different decals, skins, and weapon camos show a lot of effort on screen and are greatly appreciated because they make my Marine feel more unique to me. You get the authentic alien experience when all the good aspects come together. You know what I'm talking about. You and all your friends backed against the wall, spraying away at the relentless waves of Xenos until, inevitably,
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now?
there's clearly a lot on offer here, but you're still not done even when you finish the campaigns. It's possible to start a new character on hardcore mode, similar to the standard campaign, except if this Marine you create dies at any point, he's just dead. You can also pay $15 for the Pathogen DLC, which I would recommend. I felt like a lot of value was already given for $30, so I had no problem paying $15 more for additional weapons, equipment, and levels. Plus, the ending of the DLC is infinitely more satisfying than the base game's last level. To close things up, I didn't expect to like this game enough to do a video, but after 20 hours I felt obligated. Aliens Fireteam Elite has my recommendation, but there's a bit of an asterisk associated with that. If you consider yourself a huge Aliens fan and like horde-based survival shooters, pick this one up. But if you're not, the repetitive gameplay loop may not hold your attention. I really wanted to hammer this point home on the outro. The game is very niche and it just happens to appeal to my personal lizard brain. Consider these things before purchasing. In the meantime, I'm heading back to Katunga.